I know certain man are ready for this video. As you can tell, we're going to be discussing KSI Tommy Fury. Did KSI get robbed? Or did Tommy Fury actually win? Let's start the fight talk. Alright, first of all, we were all there. We all saw it. We saw the fights. We didn't just see the main fight. We saw the prelims. We saw the tag team fight. We saw everything. Because it truly was the biggest fight in influencer boxing history. However, did it live up to the expectation? No, it did not. Because of one main reason. The judges. This isn't just because of the KSI Tommy fight. Chase Damore versus Tempo Arts. The judges in that fight were blind, alright? Tempo, I love you my friend, but I knew Chase had won. I knew Chase had won and they scored it to Tempo. But you know what? Forget about those fights. Forget about the prelims. Because we're talking about KSI versus Tommy Fury. And as you can tell, I am not happy with this decision. Let's start from round 1. KSI came with the MVP stance. What I predicted in my previous video I did. I said the only way KSI wins is if he makes it a dogfight, and that's exactly what happened. It was not clean at all. It was very sloppy. The amount of clinching was crazy. But one thing you have to remember, KSI is not at the level of Tommy Fury, but that night he showed to every single person in the audience watching at home, KSI embarrassed Tommy Fury that night. Starting from round 1, KSI was dominant. He was dominant. With the right hand, he clocked Tommy Fury in the first 20 seconds with that right hand and wobbled him. Jake, no he didn't. In the first round, Jake didn't do it. Second round, Jake didn't do it. Third round, Jake still didn't do it. Fourth round, Jake still didn't do it. Fifth round, Jake still didn't do it. You get my point. But KSI hit that right hand. He landed it. And it wobbled Fury. From then on, I was confident KSI had this in the bag. Second round, what was happening? KSI again started off with a stance. Wasn't landing too much, I admit. But the punches that were there were flush. The punches that really landed were flush. They were clean, they were solid punches, and they were hurting and affecting Tommy Fury, especially the ones in the clinch. Now, a lot of people are saying JJ was clinching the whole time. Why was he doing this? He was scared of Tommy. No, he wasn't. Let's take a step back over here, alright? KSI went to fight Tommy Fury, not in a professional way, in a dogfight mentality, because that's who KSI is. KSI doesn't fight professionally. KSI makes it a brawl. That's the only way KSI wins. He's done it against Logan. He was going to do it against Joe Fournier, and he did it against FaZe Tempo too. Now, when JJ was doing the MVP stance and hit him with the right hand and didn't follow up, he had to duck beneath, and he wanted to catch Tommy Fury when he was down with the uppercut. But what had happened? Instead of KSI being able to do that, Tommy Fury went in for the clinch. KSI did not initiate the clinch. It was Tommy Fury. And even after the clinching, while they were in the clinch, what was happening? KSI was getting hit at the back of the head. Now, I'm not saying this was on purpose, but I'm not saying it wasn't. Because first 2 times, do you know what? Tommy, I'll allow you. Because fighting KSI is very awkward. It's an awkward position to be in. He's a frantic fighter. You don't know what position you're going to be put in by KSI. You're going to get cornered. You're going to get the pressure added onto you. And I get that. But in that second round, when Tommy kept on hitting him on the back of the head, there was this one moment where Tommy was comfortable. He was controlled. He was composed. And he saw he was hitting KSI 3 times in the back of the head. Now, from that moment, your initial reaction is to think, Tommy's doing this on purpose. Now, looking back at it, I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but I do know that point deduction was well deserved. That sums up round 2 for you. Now, we're not going to talk about the other rounds, because here's how I scored it. Round 1 to 3 was KSI. Round 4 and 6 was Tommy Fury. And round 5 was KSI, or it was a bit of a draw. Now, to me personally, alright, one of the judge scored it 56-56, and I wasn't complaining about that. Because if this fight was a draw, not just because I'm a KSI fan, I would be happy with it. It's because it was a well-deserved decision to both men on the night. The fact that we had 2 judges scoring at 57-56 was absolutely abysmal. Do you know why? Because both of those judges scored the second round in favour of Tommy Fury. Now, I'm sorry here, but if you're meant to be a judge You're meant to know how to do math. You're not meant to even need a calculator. Next time, I think, bring a calculator along. Because if you really want to be a judge, my friend, calculate it properly. Because that second round is a 10-8 round. It is a 10-8 round. I don't care what anyone says. That right there was a 10-8 round to KSI. Now, automatically, a point deducted puts KSI in an advantage. Even if you gave 3 rounds to Tommy Fury and 3 rounds to KSI, that is a KSI win. Do you know why? The point deduction. The point deduction right there gives KSI that win. Gives him the edge. So, when you get people saying that KSI deserved to lose that night, notice how it's a minority of people. It's a minority. And even in the professional boxing world, the boxing purist, Eddie Hearn out of all of the people, literally, a lot of these people in the influencer boxing scene and in the professional boxing scene scored it a KSI win. It was a KSI win that night. The fact that Tommy, after the fight, said he wanted to continue into professional boxing route, do you know what? Fine. But the fact that he said, I'm done with this BS, and immediately goes to saying he will be open to any other pause, that's when I saw the weakness inside of him. That's when I saw it. Tommy knew he lost that fight. And fighting KSI again was a massive risk to take. It was a massive risk to take. So he immediately ducked him after the fight and turned to the pause. He turned to the pause. What's going to happen next? Will it be Jake? No, it's going to be Logan. And this just shows from Tommy Fury's mind. He doesn't care about who he's fighting. He cares about the money. Because logically, you wouldn't think that Tommy Fury would fight Logan Paul. KSI beat him, in my opinion, and in Tommy's opinion. Tommy even said that he believes Jake is better than Logan Paul. So why are you regressing down to Logan Paul? Why are you doing that? If you truly think that you're better than KSI and you're better than Jake Paul, then don't fight Logan. Don't do that. Continue professional routes. I will happily watch in York Hall Vidal Riley versus Tommy Fury. Give Vidal Riley a piece of Tommy Fury and watch what would happen. But besides from that, because I know this video is not about Vidal versus Tommy Fury, it's about KSI Tommy Fury, I'm sure you get my point here. I am sure you get my point. And let's look at the stats. For everyone who's going to now criticize me at this point, and I'm sure there's going to be very little people criticizing me because I'm spitting facts here. If you see the punch thrown, if you see the punches thrown by Tommy Fury, yes, there were more punches thrown. But how many of them landed? How many of them landed? Now, if you go to the Zone's website, you're going to see the statistics for this fight. And this is where I bring my calculator along. I shouldn't have to. A 16-year-old kid shouldn't have to be proving Tommy Fury wrong. Shouldn't be having to prove the judges wrong. Well, guess what? I am. And this is where I prove that KSI has beaten Tommy Fury. KSI was said to have thrown 124 punches on the Zone website. And apparently, he landed 38 of them. So do the maths for me, please. 124 subtract 38. What does that give you, my friend? It gives you 86. Alright? Now, what's my point here? Just wait and see. Tommy Fury threw 159 punches. And out of those 159 punches, one more than KSI connected, which was 39. He connected 39 punches. Now, do the maths again for me. 159 subtract 39. It gives you 120. No joke, it gives you 120. Now, what does that mean? What do those two calculations just done mean? KSI missed 86 punches. But Tommy Fury missed even more. 120 punches right there. 120 punches missed by Tommy Fury and only 86 by KSI. What does that show you? It shows you that KSI was more of an effective guy that night and embarrassed Tommy Fury. For me, KSI won that night. Whether it gets overturned as a draw, if it's a draw, KSI still won that night. Because there is no way that performance has led to KSI losing. No way. If you guys disagree with me in any way, I'll happily chat to you guys in the comment section below. Respectful comment section below. I'll happily talk to you guys. And even hit on my Insta, the Fight Talk. I'll happily do it. Because if I have to keep on proving this point again and again until we get decision overturned, trust me, I will. Trust me, I will. Because I will go every way just to prove that KSI did not lose that fight. And that's not because I'm a KSI meat rider. That's not because I love KSI. Because if you ask any of my friends, I predicted that Tommy Fury would win this fight by decision. And I said if KSI loses to Tommy by decision, I wouldn't mind because I like Tommy Fury. But the way that Tommy Fury won by decision is terrible because he did not win like that. He did not win correctly. He didn't. That was not a win for Tommy Fury. Tyson Fury was shocked. He was shocked. And I lost respect for Tommy that night. Not because that he got announced as a winner. That's not his fault. That's not in his control that the judges saw it that way. The fact that he said at the end, he's better than KSI that night. He won that fight without a doubt. And didn't even think about saying that there was a single little doubt in his mind. My friend, my respect has gone down for you. Now to everyone who's still watching this video, I appreciate you guys, alright? Road to 1,000 subscribers, but it's not about that at this point. It's about what we need as a community to go forward. What we need as a community to make sure shit like this doesn't continue happening. It doesn't. Because we've seen it countless numbers of time. Kenny versus Faye Sensei. As much as I love Kenny, Sensei won that fight clearly. Tempo Arts versus Chase Lamore. Tempo, I wanted you to win. Chase, you won that fight. You won that fight. And the fact that we're still having to deal with all of this in 2023, Misfits Boxing, as big as it is, still making these mistakes, you've got to think to yourself sometime soon, where are we going? Where are we going as a business? Where are we going as a community? If you want to keep this influencer boxing alive, don't mess around. Because a fight like that, to someone who doesn't watch boxing or influencer boxing, they're going to be absolutely vexed. Because they wouldn't want to watch the fight again. They wouldn't. After seeing that was a mockery of a fight. Especially the result. So Misfits, where'd you go from here? Where'd you go? Do you redeem yourself by sanctioning the fight properly? Making sure the PBA are well trained? Making sure the background checks of the judges are done? Because in my opinion, that's what you need. And I am sure if we do that, if the background checks happen, if you fully see who is actually judging the fight, we're not going to have any problems. But the fact of the matter is, if we want to keep this alive, don't mess about. That's it, man. Just don't mess about. This has been your boy Krish, back with another video. And I hope the appeal gets accepted. And I hope the decision gets overturned. Thanks for watching.